This is Brenda Brandenburg with the Arkansas Herald and local Channel 10 News, and I am here visiting with Rick Petty, who is an alderman with Mountain Pine City Council.
Yes, ma'am.
And there's been some issues going on in Mountain Pine that we really want the public to be aware of.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me a little bit about what got you involved and why we're here.
Well, upon finding this report, it led me to questions to the health department of, is this water safe for my kids, my grandsons, my family, citizens of Mountain Pine, and all to drink? And that ended up leading me to different numbers and different numbers and different numbers, until I wound up with engineers of the Arkansas Health Department.
Okay.
And through some coordination with them, found out that the water to them had been passing, our test had. However, it was in serious conditions with our tank.
Okay.
And could very easily be contaminated.
Okay.
So he said a boil order was something we need to consider.
Okay.
And I asked him if he thought it was necessary, and he said yes.
And that happened on Wednesday the 16th last week, is that
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay, all right. And then on the 17th, I believe the next day, there was an emergency council meeting held,
Yes,
is that
ma'am.
right?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Now, was it a city council meeting or was it actually a citywide meeting?
It's city council, which
Okay.
all the public's invited.
Okay.
And it's always.
And it was
public
to discuss this boil order.
Yes, ma'am. Boil order and
Okay.
the water tank.
Okay,
Mainly the water tank itself, what we was going to do,
okay,
you know, and all, you know, options we had.
okay,
So wasn't really a whole lot we could go at, other than that we got to start looking into getting some bids and seeing what we got to go through from there.
okay. So Thursday at that meeting, what happened was you let the public know that the tank was in trouble. Obviously, you'd found a report that said, we need some stuff
Right.
done here.
Right.
That has, and tell me again the date of that report?
2013, November the 8th,
Okay.
I think it was.
Okay.
Right in there somewhere.
So we're talking about a 2.5-year-old report that said there's some serious problems here that need to be
Right.
corrected.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So how did the public react?
Well, there's most of them sit there and listen to us talk about us, you know, discuss amongst each other. Wasn't a whole lot of comments made at the meeting at that time. There was I think, I remember, we were discussing the pressure. Would we have enough pressure to put out a fire since we had to take the tank offline?
And do you have enough pressure?
Yes, ma'am. They say
Okay.
we do.
Okay. Well, that's good.
So temporarily, they said this will work, you know, till we get the tank either repaired or replaced.
Okay. And so what you did as a result, did I hear you shut the tank completely down?
Tank has been completely disconnected.
Okay. And how are you getting water then to the city of Mountain Pine?
We get our water through Hot Springs Water.
Okay. So it's coming directly from Hot Springs
Yes,
now.
ma'am.
There's enough pressure to fight a fire. Water's passing testing right now.
Right.
So what's the next step? What's going to play out on this?
We're going to have to get with some engineers,
Okay.
let them look at the tanks, see what they think we need to do with the tank, whether get a new tank, if it's feasible to repair this tank, versus cost versus longevity, how long it's going to last, you know, and see where it goes from there.
Now tell me a little bit about the problems that are in the tank. I saw that report and I got to look a little bit at it, and it was pretty frightening. I'm going to tell you.
There's some holes on the top of the tank.
Okay.
The concern of mosquitoes, bugs, bird droppings, and so forth that could get through.
Okay.
Um,
So we're talking about some pretty sizable holes.
I would say size of a cigarette probably,
Okay.
you know, which is plenty big for a mosquito,
Right.
a fly,
A wasp.
wasp get in there. They could even make a nest in there. Wasps get in and out, they can make a nest if they want to. They'll try. They've got mainly the sides of the tank, it's got plenty of depth to it.
Okay.
The top of it, however, you know, it's still plenty thickness to it, but the welling seems where the rust in the holes have became in there for it the holes to appear right there in the seams.
Now, did you look at it today?
Yes, ma'am. I was up there today.
Okay.
Looked at it.
Is it empty?
It's empty. The
Okay.
tank is completely empty.
Okay.
There's, I think, about 3 inches of water that you can't completely get out of.
Okay.
Then with Richard and I, the waterman here, was up there with the Arkansas Health Department, and they were looking at some things over to be sure mainly that we had it offline. They took 3 samples yesterday afternoon and 3 samples today. If those 6 samples all come back clean, they will lift the boil over. It'll be taken back off. And then we'll be back to normal as far as we can be as normal until we get the situation with the tank fixed.
Well, you know, it sounds to me like, by reading the report or looking at the report, I haven't been able to completely read it, that this has been going on for a while. This is not something that just happened in the last 6 months or a year.
No, this has been going on for several years.
Okay.
Over a period of time. The report plainly states due to lack of maintenance. So, which the guy we have now, I think when he'll be taking care of it and doing it properly.
Okay.
This didn't come from him. This come from whoever was before him.
Well, you know, drinking water is a very vital thing, you know, that we take for granted.
Yes, ma'am. That's
and the people in Flint, Michigan are now thinking about that. But now here we are in Mountain Pine, Arkansas, and we're thinking about your grandkids.
My grandkids, newborn children here, pregnant mothers, kids that are a year old. My grandsons are 6 and 7. Another grandson in there that's 5. You know, they drink a lot of water. I don't want them drinking water coming out of that tank, not after what I saw today.
Right.
You know, the report showed me that there was some unsanitary conditions possible. But today, when you stand inside the bottom and look up, you can see light through the top of it in several places, which says very easily wasps could come in there, build a nest.
Right.
Mosquitoes, like I said, flies, anything.
Now, a boil order, does that mean 1 minute of boiling before any use?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It says you should boil briskly 1 minute before you use. Dump all ice cubes. Use water only to make ice cubes that you boiled. Don't do no cooking until you boil the water. Boil the water first for 1 minute. Then you can use to cook with, drink with, make your beverages with, or whatever.
Okay. But now that you have completely stopped that tank and it's not connected, has the boil order been lifted?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Now, they took the samples back to Little Rock today with them.
Okay, so those 6 samples that you're
And
talking
when yes, ma'am. And when they are tested, if they come back clean, then our boil order will be lifted.
Okay. And you'll be strictly on Hot Springs water, though?
Yes, ma'am. Which is right out just past us out here on Close Acres Road.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to follow this story because I think there's a lot more to it. We want to look back and find out why did maintenance get omitted? You know, and not necessarily a who thing, but a what can we do to prevent this in the future? Because if this can happen in Mountain Pine, Arkansas, it can happen anywhere.
I think that's going to start with the man we have taking care of the water system now. He's doing his best and everything in his power to correct anything that they can for the health department, to answer any questions for them, take them anywhere, show them anything, not hold nothing back.
Good.
So he's doing everything he can, you know.
That sounds
and
really positive.
I stumbled on this by accident, but I'm going to follow it to myself to see that my family and Sizzle Mountain Pine and the Keys kids around here are drinking good water.
Good deal. Good deal.
I wouldn't be an alderman if I didn't.
Right. Well, I know that the citizens of Mountain Pine are very appreciative for that.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, we're going to come back and visit with you if we find out anything more.
Okay.
And we're going to share pictures that we've got, that we've obtained, so that people know what we're talking about.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much, Rick. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming out.
All right.